The Florida seas are calming down, but millions are without power and dealing with severe flooding as Helene works her way north. Plus, a strike is building in the Northeast. How the ripple effect could raise your grocery prices even higher. Welcome to News 3 Now at noon. I'm Eliel Liberté, filling in for Josh Sprider. We start with harrowing video from South Pasadena, Florida. Storm surges battered the Gulf Coast, leaving those who stayed out to wait out the storm stranded. In this video, you can see rescue crews calling out to residents in this burning home. The South Pasadena Fire Department has not said whether or not there was anyone actually in the building. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says there are many who have had power restored and many without power still.
We have currently, as of 6 a.m., 1.24 million accounts without power throughout the state of Florida. Since the storm has begun, there have been 1.16 million accounts that have already been restored. So those restoration efforts are underway.
DeSantis added that 2 fatalities have been reported, one that was traffic related and one from a tree falling onto a home in Dixie County. While those in Florida work to clean up the damage, the storm is almost past Atlanta, where severe flooding has prompted the more need for more rescues. In this video, Atlanta Fire rescued a family with their baby and pets early this morning. So far, 21 people have been killed by the storm across the South. And you're taking a live look at Charlottesville, Virginia Airport, where some light rain is still settling in, while the most severe weather looks like it will be wrapping up before this evening. But for more information on that and what to expect back here, we have First Warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka on the patio. What's going on, Kelly?
Yeah, devastating storm, winds to 140 miles per hour yesterday evening as it made landfall just to the south and east of Tallahassee yesterday evening. Right now, though, the clouds from Helene have actually moved into southern Wisconsin. That's why we are seeing some of this filtered sunshine, but it's running into a strong area of high pressure to our north, so it's really having a hard time moving in our direction. It's pretty much stalled out down to our south. We're just seeing some of these clouds, and you will probably notice a little bit more of a east to northeast wind today, and that's wrapping around what is the leftover of Helene, which is way down to our south. Right now, you can see some of the filtered sunshine over the capital city as we're sitting at 73, and there's that northeast wind. It's up there at 14 miles per hour, so a bit of a breeze wrapping around Helene all the way up here in southern Wisconsin. It's going to remain mild regardless in the upper 70s right through the weekend into early next week, and it will remain dry as Helene stays to our south. We're just seeing some of these high thin clouds filtering out the sun a bit, and that will continue into tomorrow. We will get a stronger cold front that will be arriving Tuesday. Definitely going to feel like autumn with a breeze out of the northwest, putting temperatures only in the 60s. 74 right now in Madison, 72 in Middleton, so another nice noon hour, just a little bit of a breeze coming in the northeast up there about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Still likely to hit the upper 70s. We've got all the details on the weekend forecast and that cold front that's arriving next week coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, thank you, Kelly. We will be sure to check back in. All right, and former President Donald Trump is set to visit Prairie du Chien tomorrow, but there's been a change to his location. The former president planned to hold an outdoor rally at an airport Saturday, but it has been moved to a smaller indoor arena. This is because the Secret Service says they did not have enough personnel needed to secure the site. But before coming to Wisconsin tomorrow, the former president will meet with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump said if he wins the White House, he will be able to ease tensions between Russia and Ukraine. This meeting comes after Zelensky pled his case to the United Nations General Assembly. He said he believes they could win the war, but would need the help of the U.S. and its allies. The Biden administration announced a $2.4 billion aid package for Ukraine yesterday. And tonight, U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will be in Madison. She's headlining a stop for the Harris Walls campaign, Reproductive Freedom Bus Tour. The event will be in downtown Madison from 5 to 9 p.m. Ocasio-Cortez is a representative from New York's 14th district. This visit comes as New York City's mayor faces federal indictment charges. She's called for him to step down. And police are investigating a political vandalism in Wisconsin neighborhood. Multiple residents in the Neenah neighborhood say they woke up to find their property defaced and yard signs destroyed. The city's police department says they denounce all property damage. They also say they are investigating all reports filed. One man says it's something he never experienced to see in his neighborhood of 40 years.
The closest to anything damage we've gotten is rabbit damage, chewing some Christmas tree lights, and that's been about it. So it's new to us, but since the politics of the nation have changed as much as they have, I'm not surprised.
One resident says that along with the yard sign, vandals also targeted his vehicle. And a Republican congressman wants an investigation into an error involving absentee ballots. Earlier this week, we told you about duplicate ballots being sent out to thousands of voters in a Madison ward. Representative Tom Tiffany from Wisconsin's 7th District is calling for officials to look into the mistake. He claims he caught Madison clerk Mary Beth Weitzel-Bell lying about barcodes on the ballots. In Wisconsin, ballots do not have barcodes, but envelopes in which ballots are returned do. In an initial statement on Monday, Weitzel-Bell did not specify where the barcode was. The city has since corrected that statement. Once a ballot is received and its envelope barcode is scanned, the ballot of any future submission with the same barcode will not count. And the Henry Vilas Zoo received another 5 years of accreditation from the Associations of Zoo and Aquariums. The zoo is recognized for their DEI plan created by community members and a volunteer program. This program has 400 volunteers in the zoo's Animal Health Center. The zoo is one of 252 facilities to hold this certification. It puts it among 10% of zoos worldwide. And at least you can now get free COVID test kits delivered to your home. The federal government is offering 4 kits per household. This is the wrong video for that. There we go. This is the 7th round of free tests Americans are getting since the winter of 2021. The government sent more than 900 million tests to people around the country. The government says these tests will be good to use throughout the end of this year. They take about 30 minutes to produce a result. And at least 25,000 dock workers on the East and Gulf Coast ports could walk off the job next week, impacting nearly half of the country's imports and possibly sending prices higher for consumers. Negotiations between the workers' union and the employees face a Tuesday deadline. Nancy Chen shows us how the ripple effects of a strike could affect what you buy in grocery stores.
Well, we're stacked to the brim, produce all the way up to our ceiling to make sure we have what we need. I've never seen it like this.
Anthony Serafino is running out of space at his company's global distribution center in New Jersey.
If there's a strike happens, what happens immediately in this facility?
So we are stockpiled with some inventory for a few days, hopefully a few weeks.
It's one of the many preemptive measures his business and others are taking to prepare for a potential walkout.
Day one of the strike, the supermarket shelves will be filled. But if the strike lingers on, we could see a position where we start to see empty shelves, and that's every retailer's nightmare.
Dock workers from Boston to Houston and 14 ports total along the East and Gulf Coast could be walking off the job in the union's first strike since 1977. The sticking points? Right now, workers make between $20 and $39 per hour. According to a source familiar with the negotiations, the union wants annual raises of $5 an hour, while management has countered with half that. The union is also fighting the increasing use of automation, which they say could take away jobs.
What will the impact be on consumers?
We could see price increases to offset the supply chain cost increases. Also, I think we could see longer delivery times.
Can even one day make such a huge difference?
One day, not so much, especially with some of the preemptive measures that have been taken in a week, several weeks, in fact. That's where we really see the ripple effect.
That's especially true for items like produce.
I always say our stuff does not get better with age. It's not wine. It gets worse. So there's only so much inventory you can stack.
That was Nancy Chen reporting. The White House does have some authority to step in and pause a potential strike. A Biden administration tells CBS News that the Department of Labor is monitoring the situation and has been in touch with both sides. But there are no plans to get involved with negotiations at this time. And still ahead for us this afternoon, the economy has grown over the summer. And former President Trump is selling watches with a pretty large price tag.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon, moving forward.
Ashley's massive 55th anniversary celebration is on now. Get rock-bottom prices on everything in store. Plus, our gift to you, no interest financing for 55 months. And weekly doorbusters, only at Ashley.
4 years ago, rioters set this Minneapolis police station on fire, trying to burn me and my fellow police officers alive. Governor Tim Walz left us for dead. And Kamala Harris?
This is a movement, I'm telling you. Everyone beware. They're not going to let up, and they should not.
She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding the police. Kamala sold cops out and put families at risk. Kamala Harris is too weak and too dangerous to be president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. You can hear that chain going around, bringing the door up, the springs if they're moving, the shaft. Hey, Madison, your garage door isn't supposed to be loud. Here at Precision, we can make it a whole lot quieter.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. Pella manufactures, tests, installs, services, and warranties their products, meaning quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella window and door for timeless beauty and performance. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days the cost to make Great-Grandma Balwig's Blue Ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
Ashley's biggest mattress event is this Saturday only. We've brought in truckloads of overstock and special purchase mattresses. Save up to 70% off on top mattress brands while they last, and get no interest financing for 55 months at Ashley.
The economy grew at a healthy annual 3% rate from April through June. The Commerce Department says strong consumer spending and business investment drove the increase. As inflation decreases and the job market slows, the Fed cut its benchmark interest rate by a half point last week. The nation's supply chain could be severely affected if dock workers along the East and Gulf Coasts go on strike. The International Longshoremen's Association's contract with ports from Maine to Texas expires Tuesday morning. The U.S. Maritime Alliance, which represents the ports, filed an unfair labor practice charge with the National Labor Relations Board to try to force the union to return to the bargaining table. And Republican presidential candidate, former President Donald Trump, wants to sell you watches. Trump unveiled his new collection yesterday. A watch that's encrusted with diamonds is going for $100,000. A Fight model is much cheaper, retailing for just under $500. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
And at the noon hour, stocks are mixed with a little movement. The Dow is up 167 points. The Nasdaq is down nearly 70, and the S&P 500 is just down 5 points. And our call for action volunteers are in the building, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Volunteers are here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime on channel3000.com/call-for-action. And we're looking at today's ag prices in a little bit, and we're tracking your first warn forecast. And then later on Live at 4, we'll bring you coverage of Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's visit on behalf of the Harris Walls campaign. It's part of the special Battleground Wisconsin Live at 4 show each Friday up until the election.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
We are Dane County. We are Madison, McFarland, Sun Prairie. We are Waunakee, Stoughton, Middleton, Deerfield, and everywhere in between. We are committed to being unique in supporting the value when families share the memories of family and friends at the loss of a loved one. We are Crest Funeral and Cremation Service, More than just a funeral home, we are the people you know and trust to help families before, during, and after the loss of a loved one. Learn more at crestfuneralservice.com.
Brian Stiles said he's proud of his extreme record. So why is he lying about it? Stiles said he was proud to be part of a group pushing to gut Social Security and Medicare, that he proudly supports abortion bans. And Brian Stiles said he's proud to be backed by extremists pushing a total ban nationwide. Peter Barca's backed by police, firefighters, and unions because Peter puts Wisconsin first, no matter the party, and that's something to be proud of.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need, because they're a part of them, because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Get your best night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Support a great cause when you test rest a Tempur-Pedic. Steinhoffels will donate $20 to special spaces, and you get a $20 reward card for lunch on us. Tempur-Pedic queen mattresses start at only $52 per month. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Start sleeping better tonight. Steinhoffels, your mattress destination. Shop in-store or online.
Career politicians like Peter Barca will say anything to get elected. His latest negative ad against Brian Stile, it's been called blatantly false. The truth, Stile has always supported IVF. He co-sponsored a resolution supporting IVF. And Stile backs legislation to help families afford IVF. Peter Barca can sling mud, but we deserve better than just another lying career politician.
I'm Brian Stile, and I approve this message.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is out of the radio barn today, but here are your farm numbers. Now let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Kelly Slifka is out on the weather patio. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, good afternoon. We are closing out this Friday, this last Friday of September. Very nice. We just have a few high, thin cirrus clouds, and believe it or not, these are actually from Helene. But it's going to turn out to be a beautiful weekend. Very little effects from Helene other than a little bit of these high clouds out here, and also a bit of an east to northeast wind that'll be developing. Well, we've already got it developing today. That'll continue through tomorrow. That wind should come down a little bit on Sunday, but still out of the north. A lot of sunshine expected on Sunday as some of these clouds start to depart. 78 expected both days. All right, you can see some of these high, thin clouds, the thicker clouds as you get closer to the Illinois border. More sunshine the further north you go. We've been right on the edge here in the Madison area, but in general, it should be a nice afternoon again. And Helene continues to be a tropical storm, even though it's starting to move into the Appalachian mountain chain, still spreading a lot of rain in the Ohio Valley and parts of the mid-Atlantic states, seeing some of this as well. We're just on the northern periphery, and that's why we're just seeing some of these high, thin clouds that will filter out the sun a little bit. But this system, as it's moving to the northwest, still has winds of 35 miles per hour going into tomorrow morning, but it will basically just stall out right over Kentucky. We've got this sprawling area of high pressure, really strong area of high pressure. That air is sinking underneath, and that sinking air dries out, and that's why we're hardly even getting any of these clouds that are trying to move on in from the south. Really heavy rain still expected across the Appalachian chain. We might see a couple of showers in Chicago, but that's about as close as this rain is going to get out of Helene. Otherwise, enjoy the afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s. A nice day. Just a little bit of an east to northeast wind out here. We'll fall back through the 60s headed out after dark tonight. Upper 70s, though, that'll continue right through the weekend, even into a Monday. So really nice end to September. It looks like Helene will be staying to our south with dry conditions. We will see a cold front as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, and that'll drop our temperatures in the 60s. But in the wake of Helene, it's going to be too dry to squeeze out any moisture, so we're not expecting any rain with that front, just a breeze out of the north and west, and really little chance of rain. Good thing we got that rain last weekend because it looks like it's going to be pretty dry over the next 7 days. Otherwise, we will look at temperatures above average over the next several days through Monday, but there's that cold front dropping us actually below average with mid to upper 60s. And then we start to rebound, getting a little bit closer to average toward the end of the week and going into the next weekend. Otherwise, future track, looking at some of these high thin clouds is a little bit thicker as you get down toward Rock County and Walworth County, over there into Jefferson County. More sunshine as you get up toward the Wisconsin River Valley and areas to the northwest. Overnight tonight, we'll drop through the 60s pretty quickly this evening, and we'll wake up to 50s and warming back into the upper 70s again tomorrow. And it looks like this warm weather pattern is going to continue across much of the country going forward, and we're looking pretty dry across much of the country once we get rid of Helene. 73 in Madison right now, 73 in Lone Rock, 74 currently in the Dells. Beautiful forecast headed into the weekend, upper 70s. Just filtered sunshine today and tomorrow, more sunshine on Sunday. And there's that cold front drops our temperatures in the 60s, overnight lows in the 40s before rebounding back up close to 70 toward the end of the week.
Well, thank you, Kelly. It's pretty crazy to see how far that cloud coverage from Helene has traveled all the way up to partly us.
Yeah, even all the way up here in Wisconsin, even though it's kind of just north of Atlanta, so it's spreading that clouds all the way up in the Great Lakes.
Yeah, my parents are in South Carolina. They're definitely feeling it, but thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, and next, Howard's got the perfect appetizer to serve while watching fall sports on TV in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
This is the time of year when we look for new things to serve when we have friends over to watch football, or when we're curled up on the couch binge watching our favorite show. It's easy, budget-friendly, and it goes together like this. We start by cutting half a dozen baking potatoes into wedges and seasoning them with some olive oil and a bit of salt. After they're well coated, we place them on a couple of baking sheets and pop them in the oven until they're golden. Now you want to make sure you flip them halfway through roasting so both sides get nice and golden. Now we place these in a large bowl and toss them with some wing sauce until they're evenly coated. Then we drizzle them with some bottled blue cheese dressing and finish them off with a handful of chopped celery. What we end up with is a dish that combines everything we love about our favorite wings without the bones or greasy fingers. Everyone's gonna love these, wing lovers or not. To get this easy recipe for our buffalo potato wedges, you know the routine, visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a wing dinger of a way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Dig in.
And coming up, we have a check at Mr. Golf.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Get an 11% rebate on everything now at Menards. Energizer batteries provide long-lasting, reliable power that you can depend on. Save big on our huge in-stock selection. Get an 11% rebate on all Energizer batteries. Protect your cargo with our great selection of hitches, ratchet straps, and bungees. Secure your passion with smart straps and save big money. This 10-piece value pack of tarp straps is $7.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender. inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
A suspected Venezuelan gang member who was arrested for domestic battery
violently attacked a woman physically and sexually.
The border crisis is real here in Wisconsin.
Criminal gangs harming our community.
We're stretched thin. Open borders and weak politicians are crushing us.
Rebecca Cook is one of them. She doesn't back law enforcement. She'll never secure the border. She doesn't even want to.
That's why we stand with Derek Van Orton. He has our back.
And I've got yours. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
I'm a 2-time Trump voter.
In 2024, I cannot support Donald Trump.
Trump is 100%
responsible for January 6th.
His treatment of women is just disgusting.
Trump called servicemen suckers and losers.
If Trump has a second term,
it will be much worse than the first.
Kamala Harris is a prosecutor.
He's a convicted felon. In 2024,
I will be
proudly voting for Kamala Harris.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Well, if you're looking to better your golf game, the George Venus Golf Academy is providing tips to help lower your score. Here's Joe Whites showing us how to read the green.
To become a better putter, it's very important to know how to read the greens. As you approach the ball, to mark your ball, assess the entire green. I notice I'm going uphill. That's one factor, but now I have to determine the slope right or left. Now I've approached the right side of my putt, and I'm realizing more and more that I'm not only going uphill, but I have a pretty significant side hill I'm dealing with also. Now I've approached the left side of my putt, which further confirms that I'm not only going uphill, but I also have a fairly significant side hill I'm dealing with. So through my evaluation, I know it's uphill, it's side hill. I need the proper amount of speed to make that putt. I'm determining the high arc of this putt, or the apex of the putt. Take one last look. And there it is. I'm Joel Whites, PGA professional. Improve your play the fundamental way.
Now we're getting one last check your forecast.
Yeah, we've got another nice day. We've had some high thin clouds. That's in Platteville. Maybe not quite as much clouds as we're seeing here in Madison areas to the south and east. 73 right now in Madison, 75 in the Dells, 70 in Mineral Point, 73 in Janesville. Weekend looks great. We do have a bit of a northeast wind. That's wrapping around Helene, well to our south. And 78 for both Saturday and Sunday. Looking at a lot of sunshine through the weekend into early next week. Cold front drops us into the 60s, but no rain with that cold front. Overnight lows in the 40s before rebounding closer to 70 by Thursday and Friday.
All right, thank you, Kelly, and thank you for watching. We'll be right back here for Live at 4.